Okay, real talk. How many times have you sat down with your textbook, full of good intentions, only to find yourself 10 minutes later scrolling through your phone, wondering what that noise was outside, and suddenly feeling a deep, compelling need to reorganize your entire sock drawer? Here's a hidden blueprint to studying effectively, even when your brain feels like a browser with 50 tabs open. What if I told you that the problem isn't your willpower? It's not that you're lazy or not cut out for this. The real problem is that most of us were never taught how our brains actually work and how to study in a way that works with them, not against them. And the biggest mistake everyone makes? They try to fight the distractions. It'll tell you why that's a losing battle in just a minute and what you should do instead. Stick with me. And by the end of this, you're not just going to have a few tips. You're going to have a simple, step-by-step system. It'll break down exactly how to set up your space and your time, a powerful technique that turns focus into a game, and the one common mistake that kills productivity every single time. This is about working smarter, not harder. But before we dive in, if you're finding this helpful, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And right now, I'm curious, what is your number one distraction when you try to study? Is it your phone, the people you live with, or is it your own brain just wandering off? Let me know in the comments below. For me, it was always my own thoughts. And I know this struggle personally. In my first year of college, I could not for the life of me focus. I'd sit in the library for 3 hours and come out feeling like I'd accomplished nothing. I felt so guilty and frustrated, like I was broken. It took me failing a midterm to realize I needed a completely different approach. I dug into the research, tried everything, and what I found completely changed the game for me. So, the problem is clear. You can't focus. You're constantly distracted. But why does this happen? We're told to just buckle down and try harder, right? Well, our brains aren't designed for that kind of endless, monotonous focus. They're built to scan for new information. That's a leftover survival instinct. So when you get distracted by a notification or a random thought, your brain is literally going, ooh, what's that? Could be important. The key reframe here is this. It's not a moral failing. It's a system failing. You haven't set up a system that protects your focus. So stop feeling guilty. You just need a better strategy. I remember this one time, I had a huge history final. I sat up at my desk with my notes, my laptop, my highlighters. I was ready. An hour in, I realized I'd spent 20 minutes reading an article about the history of the sandwich, which had nothing to do with my exam. I'd followed a link from a footnote, and my brain just took off. I felt so defeated. I had put in the time, but I had zero results to show for it. Sound familiar? Right now, you might be spending hours studying, but retaining almost nothing, feeling stressed and behind. After applying this method, you'll be getting more done in shorter, more focused bursts. You'll actually remember the material, and here's the best part, you'll have guilt-free free time because y'all know you've actually been productive. So, what's the solution? It's a 1-2 punch. First, you master your environment. Second, you master your timing. And let's start with your environment. This is all about making distractions harder to reach. Your phone is the #1 enemy of focus. So, you don't just put it on silent. You put it in another room. If you need it for a timer, turn on Do Not Disturb mode and place it face down, far away from you. For computer distractions, there are great free website blockers like Cold Turkey or Freedom that can lock you out of social media for a set period. Next, your timing. This is where the magic happens with a technique called the Pomodoro Technique. It's incredibly simple, and this isn't just me talking. It's backed by how our brains learn. Research in cognitive psychology shows that our brains consolidate information best in short, repeated bursts, not long, painful marathons. The Pomodoro Technique works with your brain's natural attention span. Here is your step-by-step game plan for your next study session. Step 1, the pregame. Before you even start, decide what you're going to work on. Be specific. Not study biology, but review chapters 4 and 5 flashcards and do the first 5 practice problems. Then, clear your desk of everything you don't need for that specific task. Get your water, your snack, everything ready before the timer starts. Step 2, the sprint. Set a timer for 25 minutes. During this time, your only job in the world is to work on that one task. If you have a random thought like, I need to text Sarah back, you don't act on it. You just jot it down on a piece of paper next to you and immediately return to your work. The 25 minutes is a sacred, distraction-free sprint. Step 3, the reward. When the timer rings, stop. Seriously, stop. Get up. Your brain needs a break. Set a timer for 5 minutes. During this break, you leave your desk, stretch, look out the window, grab a drink, check that piece of paper and send that text if you want. This break is non-negotiable. Step 4, repeat and rest. After 4 at least 25-minute sprints, you take a longer break, about 15 to 20 minutes. This gives your brain the time it needs to process and solidify everything you just learned. Think of it like going to the gym. You wouldn't just try to bench press for 3 hours straight. You do sets, with rest in between. This is weightlifting for your brain. Now, the big mistakes people make with this system. First, they skip the break. They're in the zone and think, well, just keep going. Don't. You'll burn out, and your next session will be useless. The break is part of the method. Second, They don't plan their task. If you sit down and go, what should I do now? You've already lost. That indecision is a huge distraction. Plan your task before the timer starts. And third, they don't use the piece of paper. They try to just ignore the distracting thoughts. But that takes mental energy. By writing it down, you're telling your brain, I've got it, it'll deal with it later, which frees up your focus for the task at hand. So, let's do a super quick recap. 1. Hack your environment by putting your phone away and blocking distracting websites. 2. Use the Pomodoro Technique, 25 minutes of focused work, followed by a 5-minute break and a longer break after 4 rounds. 3. Always plan your task ahead of time and use a distraction list to keep your mind clear. That's it. Now, imagine it's the night before your next test. You're not cramming, you're not panicking. You've already put in several solid, focused study sessions over the past week. You understand the material. You might even be watching a show or hanging out with friends, completely relaxed because you know you've done the work. How much better would that feel? That's all I've got for you today. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to study smarter and not harder. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the first subject you're going to try the Pomodoro Technique on? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.